Everyone, how's everyone doing? Good to see you. Thank you. Do we have any freshmen in the audience tonight? Make some noise. Yeah, okay. When I was a freshman, one time I'm in Alpec Library and I'm on the elevator, right? And there are a solid 15 of us, like all like jammed into this elevator, like it's like full sardine style. And we're sitting there, and everyone's really uncomfortable because it's awkward because we're all like shoulder to shoulder. And then this one guy in the front, he's looking at the elevator doors, and there's all these like shoe prints on the door. And he just goes, "Why do people do that?" And it was a beautiful moment because as uncomfortable as we all were, that totally broke the tension. And all of a sudden, we're talking to each other like, yeah, why do they do that? Are they like taking their shoes off? That's so weird. And everyone's, having fun. And then the guy directly behind me decides to go, yeah, it's just like jerking off in a public restroom. And that elevator went silent. Except for one person. You want to know who that person was? It was me. Because I am grinding on this man. So, I kept my wit about me, I stayed cool, and I went, why? And this dude, so he can look me in the eyes, and he goes, because it is unnecessary. What the fuck are you talking about? This dude is a real-life villain, like a full public menace. I feel like this guy is like hanging out, and then his friend's like, hey, Jake, how you doing? He's like, I'm doing good. He's like, hey, I heard you ran a marathon the other day. How did that go? And he's like, oh, that marathon? I was like jerking off at my grandma's funeral. It was difficult, but I finished. When I was a senior in high school, I got to do this little program where I got to live at a university for a weekend. Just kind of like live with one of the students there, go through their daily routines, like see what it's like at that college. And so it's me and this other high schooler doing the program. His name's Jake. And we're pulling up, and we get to our guy's door. We knock on the door, and we wait. Then we hear door flings open, and he goes, Alpha Chi Nu boys, what's going on? And he welcomes us in, and we get to talking to him, learning about him, and his frat. And we learned that to get into the frat, you have to do an interview. And at the interview, they take a picture of your student ID and your driver's license because they need to know that you can only take this interview one time. You do not get a second chance. And one of the reasons for that is, prior to this interview, you need to have seen the movie Lone Survivor twice. Why? Because they need to know that you understand true brotherhood. If you took a literal bullet for your actual brother, you don't know shit about brotherhood, you dumb fuck. Because you haven't seen Mark Wahlberg take a bullet for his brother. So we're talking to this guy, and the kid who was with me, Jake, he starts talking about something. Would you be willing to play Jake for a second?
Okay.
I'm gonna play the frat guy. Will you just start talking about like your favorite movie?
Okay. My favorite movie is Venom.
Shut the fuck up. Do y'all want to see something really, really cool?
Yeah.
And that is what I said. And so this frat guy goes, okay, wait right there. Walks off. Goes to an adjoining dorm. Goes in. There's 2 beds in the adjoining dorm, both empty. Goes to the far one, crouches down, gets under, boom. Key taped to the underside of the bed. Puts it in his pocket, goes back into his room. Harry Potter books on the walls. I thought that was weird for this guy, but he has them. Boom, grabs the 5th one, Order of the Phoenix. Opens it up. This book has been hollowed out. Pulls out, boom. There's a little lockbox inside this book. Puts it down, key, one key in, boom. Pulls out his second key that is on his key ring because this is like nuclear codes and you need 2 keys to turn at the same time. I'm gonna be honest, I'm getting a little nervous because I'm thinking, this dude's gonna pull out a gun, right? Like I'm done. He opens the box and there's like this weird like glow on his face, like Pulp Fiction or something. And he pulls out a full deck of holographic Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And he is rifling through them going, yeah, oh yeah, I know, right? Spent more than $800 on these bad boys. I feel like it's pretty apparent from my like hair and face, clothes, and anime tattoos that I don't fuck, like even a little bit. Like I don't get my videos that happen for me. And one night, me and my friends were gearing up to play Dungeons and Dragons because so we're gearing up, and I get a text from one of my classmates. And I open the text, and the text says, "Hey, I know we've got that test coming up, and I was wondering if you wanted to come over to my place to, in quotation marks, study." And then there was a wink emoji, there was an eggplant emoji, there was a water droplet emoji, there was a second water droplet emoji, and to finish it off, there was a lipstick on the glass emoji. And I'm like, hey guys, this is weird, right? What is this? And my friends are like, oh, so D&D's canceled. What are you talking about? Why did D&D cancel? Because you have to go get laid right now. Because Alex, this is not going to happen to you again. This is the one opportunity that you have because of your face, clothes, and anime tattoos. Like, you're not going to get laid again. And I'm like, okay, you're right. I know exactly what to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little dramatization of what I said back. The conversation goes as follows. Hey, I know we have that test coming up. Did you want to come over to my house to study? Whoop! I respond, no need! That's okay, I already studied for the test. As a matter of fact, here's a little Quizlet that I made. Boom. Also, here's a study guide that I created. The little text in blue with little jokes that I say so I can help remember the information. I did not get laid that night. When I was 16, I was in driving school. I don't know if you went to driving school. And we're there, and I'm sitting down in this classroom. Professor hasn't arrived yet. We're all waiting. 5 minutes go by. 10 minutes go by. No teacher. Then all of a sudden, we hear the door at the front open up. And we hear like these dramatic, like Jurassic Park shit footsteps. Old woman hobbles in. She goes, grabs the chair, like pulls it to the middle of the classroom. She sits down, and she goes, the year was 1972. The date, October 14th. I had just gotten out of a relationship. I had ended things, of course. And one night, I'm sitting in my room, working on homework, and there's a knock at the door. I open the door, and there he is. It's Brian, the man who I go. And he asked me if I want to go take a drive. And I was naive enough to say yes. I get in his car, I'm trying to talk to him. He's unresponsive. Then we drive, and we drive, and we drive. Then he starts accelerating. That day I saw the speedometer go higher than I'd ever seen one go. And then he jerked the wheel to the left as hard as he could. The car flipped 3 times before I lost consciousness. When I woke up, I was upside down, suspended by nothing except my seatbelt. To this day, the most pain I've ever felt was unbuckling that seatbelt and having my broken body slam to the roof of the car. I crawled, bloodied and broken, for what must have been 2 hours before somebody drove by to help me. And then she said, "Class dismissed." And we never saw that woman ever again. My name is Alex Pittner.